You want to start it from the top?
Yeah, let's blitz through that first part. Veronique.
Because I damn sure don't want to see Veronique. I don't want to talk about that shit no more, man.
Veronique had the weird riding face. Yeah.
Literally the first thing we see in the episode.
Make a horse face while you climaxing.
That is wild. That's wild. All right, so V and Franklin have unicorn sex. She put that thing on him, and now he's out here considering marriage. The Cuban Connect. Yikes! Stop neighing in my ear, please. The Cuban Connect has contacted a Connect of his own to ask for help after the Avi situation. Obviously, we both think he's KGB. He almost has to be KGB. I mean, that's where the Cuban guy.
That's what it seems like. Yeah, Cold War era politics, Cubans, KGB, all on the same side as the Sandinistas, USA, CIA, Contras, all fighting it's like a proxy war in a country. You know what I mean? Like we just gonna line up on opposite sides of this civil unrest and have out our issues through this country real quick. That's what we gonna do. It's basically what all of that amounted to.
For sure. Oso's kids are being bad as hell and breaking a lamp in the living room, but lo and behold, his wife finds a bug in the lamp, that's totally some Teddy shit.
Yeah, would definitely lead you to believe, at least early on in this episode, that that's who it was. Because that's definitely your boy's MO, especially considering what's going on with Franklin right now. So
literally bugging anybody that we would think he could trust, but he can't trust nobody, so he's got to bug everybody.
Yep.
Jerome and Louie are enjoying their honeymoon and pondering on whether or not they should hire a white maid to make sweet potato pie, not pumpkin pie.
That's a real one right there.
Facts. Yeah, you're not going to find that.
Pumpkin pie, yeah, for sure.
You're not going to find that whatsoever. Despite Jerome's best efforts to keep work at bay, Louie calls Teddy, who paged her and explained that Franklin's out. Jerome is clearly hesitant, but pretends as if he is happy about everything.
Every time he holds his tongue, Louie makes herself more smokable. Like every time he doesn't say anything to keep the peace, your wife becomes more and more killable. She becomes more and more of an enemy. Like you're not keeping the family together by not telling her she's wilding, and she's wilding.
Big wilding.
Yeah.
Wanda, who hasn't worked at the office long enough to accrue PTO, is now asking for extended leave to go on the trip with Lee. V gives her blessing while Franklin is clearly in the office pissed because apparently he is broke.
This was by far the biggest disappointment in the series for me. Or not. Maybe not in the series, but in this season for sure. The fact that Franklin had access to every dollar he owned in his house. Like every illegal dollar that you got stashed away to run away with is the information to it is stored in your home. It just in your house, like just in your house, where anybody can just break in and have access to it, right? That's how accessible your life is, right? Your parachute.
Especially knowing that Teddy is so good at breaking into shit and finding whatever information he needs. And not only Teddy, but shit, KGB agents are good at that shit, and gangsters are good at that shit.
So let's
ran off with your bread.
So you knew enough not to ask questions about your father to read. You knew enough to not question why Reed came back, right? You knew enough to know that eventually Reed was going to try to kill you because you knew too much, right? You just paranoid enough to see all the eventualities. How did him taking all your money away from you not come up into play? How did you not come up with the way to protect yourself better than this, man? Having accounts is one thing. That's all well and good. Having the Swiss bank accounts with the fucking account number sitting on the refrigerator door is insane. It makes no sense. You might as well have that shit in Wells Fargo down the street.
Yeah. Yep.
You might as well. I don't get it. He didn't even have a rat hole like Oso to put his shit in. Oso had $10 million in cash, paper, not accounts. $10 million in cash. He hit that shit better than you ever hit them damn bank accounts. The Caymans, the Swiss, all of them.
Especially when everybody everybody around here is getting the drop on you in every different way. Kane found where you and everybody else was. Peaches got your bread.
You over here talking about we can track it down. This is what I do. Why you ain't have me move this somewhere where nobody get to it anyway in the first place?
Facts.
Why didn't you encourage me to maybe put the information to this maybe in what are those things? A safety deposit box?
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, you can't put cash in a safe deposit box. You're not supposed to.
I'm not asking to put cash in there. I'm trying to put the financial documents.
Oh, the financials. Okay, got you.
So that the only people that can ever open up that information who doesn't already know it, because I know it, it's my money, but anyone else wouldn't be able to get to it without two sets of keys, right? And how deposit works.
That is
inside of a bank. So how does Teddy McDonald walk inside of a bank and get into your deposit box? He doesn't. But you know what he can do? He can open up this random file box that you got sitting on the side of your house, marked bank shit, and open it up and have access to $73 million, apparently.
Yeah. Yep.
Jeez.
Yep. Yikes. So Oso's wife is clearly freaking out because she knows that the house is bugged, and she basically just wants Oso to get back home ASAP because they need to figure this shit out. Leon,
we about to bounce. We can go wherever the hell we want. Let me go get this money, and
he was already 1 foot out.
We are
so
gone.
Like being bugged.
He like, oh, bet, we out. I was thinking about this anyways.
Yep, big time. Leon is a political savant, and he's telling his people how to avoid prison before he leaves the country. But they don't even know what midterm elections are, so it ain't no hope for them niggas.
Man, them niggas is lost, and they don't even understand how much game he was trying to give them.
Facts. He was telling them about bills that were about to pass. And
he said an ounce of rock could cost you as much as a pound of powder. Why do you think that is? The only thing the cousin, dumb cuz, got to say, "Oh, so you leave me on my charge." Like, nigga, you know what I just said? You didn't hear shit. You ain't hear nothing.
No, I didn't hear nothing.
When they go to jail.
Franklin is down officially $73 million. Franklin obviously wants to kill Teddy because why wouldn't he over $73 fucking million? But he doesn't. He can't get a hold of him. V seems to think she can get the money back, like you said before, the legitimate way. But Franklin made his mind to get it back in blood. So his first step is to find Avi. But right now, Avi is down bad.
Yeah, you ain't about to find Avi shit. I think it's interesting though. Like right now. Well, you know what? We'll get to it. We'll get to that point because there's probably something else that happens that will tie that together a little bit more. But yeah, man, no, he's pissed, and I don't know why. I still got my eye on Veronique, man, because I'm just looking like, yo, what the fuck you got going on? Oh, yeah, I just had $73 million stolen from me. Well, we can. I know the best forensic bankers in the world. We can just track it down, and then we can find a way to get it back.
How does she know forensic? How does she know forensic bankers?
Who are you? I just told you the CIA stole my money. You said we can get it back, and you had the calmest of faces. Who the fuck? Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you, woman?
She a con woman, bro.
Like, man, you know too much about too much shit. I don't trust it.
Facts.
Do not trust it. I think Teddy pretty much confirms that he's the one who stole the money in the show. But damn, she's so goddamn suspicious.
It's the face, bro. Teddy is meeting with his CIA big bro, and he explains to him what he did with Franklin's bread. Teddy wants to toss the bread to his former employer, but he's got demands. Any thoughts on that little scene?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I missed your recap because your dad said we need to pay our bill. I hope that doesn't mean our connection.
No, I do too, because YouTube needs to pay its bill. How about that?
Yeah, let's know if we have audio issues again, folks.
I don't know if we having audio issues or what's going on. Anyway, Sissy tries to call the Cuban Connect, but obviously he's got his shit to deal with Avi and whatever's going on with the KGB right now. So
nuts that she called a damn cleaning service to get the KGB in America.
was it cleaning or plumbing?
That's whatever the hell it was. She called a number in the phone book and got the KGB in the States, in America. America.
Oh man, this episode.
That just adds to that. But see, that's what they was worried about back then. Legit, they was worried about everybody's a spy and man, nuclear war this and blah blah blah. You know, it was a very tense time. Yeah. So to see that actually, as accurate as it can, but to see that was potentially something that was actually going on, like maybe you really did have some reason to have some fears about spies and such.
Yeah. Yep. The Cuban Connect needs info from Avi. Avi claims he's got no loyalty to anybody, the USA, Franklin, Teddy, but he obviously wants to get out of the situation alive. Concerned that he'll lie to get out alive, the Connect can't just let him go that easy, so he threatens torture.
Man, it's never a good sign when you come into it offering information. It's never good. Never.
No, that's a fact.
That in gangster television world, that tells me that you're either going to get killed by the person questioning, or the person that you snitching on gonna kill you. It's never a good sign when you start out snitching. Like, hey, we ain't even gotta do all this, player. I know everything you want to know, and you ain't got to twist my arm to get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's work together. Right when he started doing that, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'll be about to die. All right, cool, boy. You about to die.
So as Franklin goes to try to go find Avi, he finds out that his building is on fire. Any thoughts on that whole situation? Did they ever confirm who it was?
Huh?
Did they ever confirm who it was? Was it Teddy or was it the KGB homeboy?
Well, it definitely wasn't Teddy, because Teddy found out about it when he talks to
That's
Frank.
Right. Yep, you're right.
But I do think it's interesting that everybody thinks everyone's involved. Right? So, like, the only one that sniffed out everything pretty quick was Javi. Like, he like, man, you KGB. You really want Franklin and Reed, so I can give you everything on them. And I know your boss pretty pissed at you, and I know that he will fucking torture and kill you if you don't get some information. So why don't we work together?
It's not lost on me that he's older and probably has dealt with a lot more shit than literally everybody involved. So
my thing
he's got the experience.
If he could have diagnosed the problem that quickly, he probably had concerns going in. He probably knew something was going down. Like if you had the lay of the land that accurately, based off of a fight and a ride in a trunk, that probably tells me that you had suspicions prior. So why not bring any of that up to anybody? Why?
Or also, at least Teddy, probably.
Yeah. The person that you're actually still working with. And then the just that he was so willing to give up the information, like, I don't know if I would have wanted to see you get tortured, but at least take a punch, bro.
No, facts.
Let him break a finger, something.
Nah, he was just gonna give it up off GP. He too old to deal with all this shit.
I guess, bro. I guess. Hate to see him go out like that, though.
No, that's a fact. Franklin calls Teddy to try to get back into his good graces. Teddy says it's too late and that he needs to get his bricks from Louie, which was wild. Franklin informs Teddy about Avi, which he didn't know, which I wrote that down and still didn't put two and two together. Franklin threatens Teddy's family, and Teddy threatens that he hasn't even hit rock bottom yet. Franklin freaks out a little bit, but he keeps it moving.
Yeah, this is what I meant by, like, everybody mistrusting everybody, because Avi got hit, and obviously Reed didn't know, but Franklin thinks it was Reed, and so now he thinks that he's burning down the whole org, right? Mm-hmm. He's that. Then now Reed is like, well, shit, who the hell hit Javi? Because it wasn't me, and it clearly wasn't Franklin, so who the hell hit him? And now I got to worry about goddamn Franklin.
Yeah.
Right? Because he over here threatening my family, which, bro, your brother's dead, and your dad would not... your dad would probably help Franklin kill you at this point. So
that's a fact. And his wife.
Yeah, the only person that probably give a damn about you right now is Parissa. And well, we'll see what happens to Parissa.
All right, so Avi looks like he's been maybe a little bit beat up. And it seems that the Cuban Connect went through some of the documents, but he still doesn't have what he wants. Avi gets the Cuban Connect to agree to keep him alive after receiving the info, which is cap, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Oso pulls up to the house, and she and his wife immediately shows him the bug. He wants to leave and thinks he can get away because he hasn't done shit to Teddy, which he hasn't, which is why he doesn't deserve to get bugged in the first fucking place. But anyway, Teddy's paged him twice in 1 hour, presumably about Avi. He then tells his wife that he has $13 million in the stash.
Bruh, listen. So if it's not Reed, then who is it? It's probably the question that Oso should have started asking. But he doesn't. And he just says, you know what? I was wanting to leave anyways. Let's just go ahead and get it done then, because I don't need no more information. Probably should have at least asked that question, that if there was no reason for Teddy to bug him, why or who else could it be? Probably would have been a very important question to ask.
Oh, 1,000%. All right. Franklin is wallowing in debt and on the verge of crying, it looks like, damn near. That is until Oso calls. The funny thing is, Franklin doesn't know that Oso has his own issues with Teddy being bugged. Oso tells him that since Teddy is the government, that Teddy always wins. It's fucked up, though, because I was kind of hoping that Oso would have told Franklin what Teddy called him about. Like, I wish they would have kind of collaborated a little bit more, but they, like, Oso just kind of gave up.
Yeah, no. That was a waste. The Franklin and Oso relationship building was a complete waste because that it amounted to nothing. My biggest thing is, why did you even call me?
Yeah.
Why did you even call me, bro? Like, so you called me to say goodbye or what? You didn't even, like, what the fuck? Get off my phone. You're not gonna help me set him up. You're not gonna tell me where he is. Why did you call me?
I thought we bonded over the tiger. Like, come on, bro.
And I'm sorry. When did Oso save Franklin's life? When did that happen? I missed that. When did that happen?
The cage, technically. He's the one that came up with the whole plan with the cage.
They was in the fucking cage together.
True.
Now,
but Franklin was freaking the fuck out.
In the barbershop about to get executed, and I pulled up and I aired that mug out, and we walked out together so that you can go home with your girl and your kids. I don't remember you saving my life.
Franklin was freaking the fuck out in the tiger cage, and Oso was the one that devised the entire plan.
Listen to me. If we in jail together and we break out, you didn't save my life. Okay? We was in the pit together. We was in there together.
If you're not doing shit, then I saved your fucking life. If you're accepting death.
Okay, so okay, let's play this scenario. Let's say Franklin and Oso are strangers in that tiger cage together. Oso does the exact same thing that he does. Franklin scurries out, they split their ways and go off. You think he gonna be like, oh yeah, that dude Oso saved my life? Do you think that's how he's gonna feel about it? We was locked in a tiger cage together, fam. You were in no better advantageous position, no more advantageous of a position than I was. See, when you was locked up in a barbershop, I could have just let him have you and just not even worried about it. If you wanted to live, Oso, you had to do something to get out. I just benefited from it peripherally.
All right,
but coming back to the barbershop, that was directly saving Oso's life.
Polo Boy commented, season 1, Oso with the Mexicans. He, like, when they were about to jump Franklin, he saved them from that situation.
Man, get the fuck on. Get out of here. Get out
Good
of
shit,
here.
Polo Boy. Good shit. Good shit.
You know how? Nah, you know how I can call in that marker? I stopped Kev from shooting Luciana. Lucia, excuse me.
Yeah, but that's her, not me.
That was the love of your life, fam.
Yeah, but now I got a wife.
I stopped my homeboy from killing the love of your. I killed my homeboy to make sure he didn't shoot the love of your life. That whole shit is even. That's even.
Nah, see, man. Lucia was a thought from season 2. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about that. This is my wife over here. You know what I mean?
I killed my bro. I killed my day one so that your love could live. So that whole shit about the Mexicans in season 1, yeah, no, we're square. You
bro.
you owe me for the barbershop shit. We was running with $3 million in cash, fam. What else was you gonna do? Lay down and die in the cage?
Nah,
He
fam.
figured out how to get himself out, and that helped Franklin.
We not squared away just because you decided to play Captain Save-A-Ho on my thought over here. You know what I'm saying?
Fam. All right. Clearly not his thought.
I got a wife, bro.
Clearly not. No, he doesn't. No, he does not.
Oso has a wife.
That's not his wife.
That is Oso's wife.
He's not married. When did they get married?
I think they might have been married. I don't know.
Fam, they're not married. Now, that's his woman. That ain't his wife. He got the same thing going on with Franklin and Veronique. That's what Oso and old girl got going on.
All right, well, Franklin about to marry her.
He didn't even see her until his brother got did in. And he had to take his kids over there.
That's at least his baby mom.
Those aren't his children, bro.
For real? No.
Those are his brother's kids.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about the brother. I forgot about Oso's brother.
Those are his brother's kids.
I forgot all about his brother. All right. Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
Look, I saved your chicks. Then I saved you to make sure you can make it to your new chick, so you can make it home to your new chick. Oh, that but you're not telling me to read that. You're not gonna tell me where. Hey, Oso, if I ever see you, bro, because that's nuts for somebody that just saved your life. Reed clearly don't give a damn about you, but maybe he does.
Probably not though. Franklin calls Louie and explains that he needs to see her, and this is the most desperate we have ever seen Franklin.
For sure. I mean, I don't like that he even had to undress himself like that. Like, the only way that she would acknowledge she still didn't even acknowledge any part in it, but to meet with him is if he'd be, oh, auntie, I need you. You the only one that can help, please. Like, I shouldn't have to do that to you, because you should have realized prior to taking my position with the plug that this was going to leave me in an ass-out position. What the fuck do you mean it doesn't have anything to do with you? Because you are my biggest like, the fact that she can't work this out in her head the way that Franklin did immediately is the reason why you weren't the one calling the shots. You weren't out in front.
Yep.
You don't get it. I'm thinking that you doing it out of just spite and evilness. I think she's just doing it out of lack of knowledge. She doesn't understand. She don't get it because she hasn't been in that position, and she thinks she knows Reed from the time that Franklin was down.
Oh, no, for sure.
She knows how far he can go. She has no clue. She hasn't the slightest clue. So you, my biggest customer, who I sell 70% of my product from, starts buying wholesale from Reed directly. That leaves me in a spot of fucked, because now I only have 30% more of the business that was currently being provided to provide to you. He can curb that by increasing the buy to Louie and cutting me completely the fuck out. If he cuts me out and he's already killed my dad, what do you think he's going to do to me, Louie?
Do you think she gives a fuck?
What happens to me? So Reed can kill me and take every dollar that I have ever earned, right? Working with you, working with Jerome, working with Leon, working with everybody that you pay. You pay everybody out of my pocket. Everybody that's loyal to you is loyal to you because you get paid for me, except for Jerome. And so now I have to just whisper off in the wind, broken, dead, so you can be out front. That shit is beyond selfish, yo.
No, for sure.
That's dastardly. That's like evil villain type shit.
1000%. The Crips done turned absolutely lawless now that they ain't got Leon to answer to anymore. They are out here wilding.
Yeah, no, they up. They outside. Sure.
1000%.
I wouldn't go back.
I don't think it's only one season, so obviously he ain't gonna go back anytime soon.
No, ever. Like, take your trip and then go buy you a house in the hills somewhere, bro. Leave them jets alone because it's about to get hectic over there.
Teddy then pulled up on the Cuban Connect. Coincidentally, as one's going up the stairs, the other one's coming down the stairs. Also, ironically, making noises on the walkie-talkie is the thing that ends up getting Parissa yoked up by Homeboy, considering she was moaning on the walkie-talkie when he was at Franklin's house.
The fuck,
wow.
The fuck he get? I'm so glad that happened to Teddy. I'm so glad that shit happened to him, boy. Because
he had to take an L somewhere.
Gonna catch up to him. They gonna chop his ass up.
Oh,
they gonna put him into pieces over Parissa, and he gonna do it because Parissa's the only woman that I've seen pay Teddy any attention since his wife 2 seasons ago.
And his wife hated him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's definitely going to bend, and they gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
They gonna mess Teddy up.
And they don't even know it yet. Oso's got a banker's box full of cash from a storage unit, and he's about to head home. Unfortunately, the cops and the DEA get that nigga before he's able to leave, and we see homeboy DEA detective from not last season, a couple seasons ago.
So it wasn't Reed. And it was the damn DEA. My question is, how did they get that in there? When did they get that in there? Because I felt like I seen bro earlier this season briefly. It was a very brief moment, and they were listening. But like, when did they have time or the opportunity to plant a bug inside his house? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then was so on top of him that they knew where his stash spot was at. They knew his route. They knew that he was getting ready to run. Man, I wonder what they waited for though.
What I don't remember is who was the DEA going after? Were they going after?
So they were going after Lucia and her family originally.
That's
right. And then they put in girl, the new special agent. Did she turn dirty or what? What? I forgot what happened to her. Oh no. Okay, so she was DEA, and then Reed stumbled upon her because Oso was like, "Hey yo, you got to handle a girl," and Reed tried to hire her.
That sounds familiar.
To work through, and he was like, "No, pow," and smoked her right on the spot.
Yeah, that sounds vaguely familiar.
So he's probably avenging his slain partner. That kind of bullshit. But I think that. But it's so. Then does this ultimately land at Reed? Is he going to? Because I think he knows that Oso's not the guy.
Yeah,
he knows that. He knows that from what happened to Colleen. Because remember that same DA agent is who got Colleen's story rolling, got that ball rolling. So yeah, I would have to think that this is going to end at Reed's feet.
Yeah. It's crazy how there was like that big ass break from COVID, and so like everything before that break, I just completely forgot.
Yeah, it wasn't long that time.
All right, let's see. Franklin pulls up on Louie and demands information on the whereabouts of the next drop, but Louie thinks that for some reason she's untouchable, which is exactly why Franklin pulled a strap on her. I am absolutely distraught that it was fucking Buckley and not Jerome that was behind with the gun to his head.
You went to a meet with your nephew with Buckley. That's how I know you've already enslaved. It's gonna sound terrible, but I'm more upset that Buckley was even with her than I am at the fact that Franklin pulled the gun on her. Like both things disappointed me, but only one of us has been cleaned out of their life savings and is running for their lives here. And only one of us is mainly responsible for that happening.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that you come in here with Buckley means that you had dangerous intentions on your mind and you have nothing to worry about. You up, right? You the man. So what is your hitter cop here for? What is he for? What is he for? Why is he coming? Why isn't it Jerome? Probably because Jerome can't look Franklin in his face and tell him that he actually believes in this shit that Louie doing.
He gonna have to answer for that though eventually.
He ain't gonna have to answer for shit because he didn't decide none of this. This was all Louie.
Polo Boy says Louie's biggest mistake not killing Franklin. Demon Saint coming next season. 1000%. I'm here for Demon Saint.
She couldn't have killed Franklin. She couldn't have killed Franklin. Jerome would have killed her.
Oh no, I just meant as far as Demon Saint.
Yeah.
1000%. He is.
Jerome, if not Jerome, Sissy.
Yeah, for sure.
If not Jerome, it would have been Sissy, and Sissy wouldn't have had no problem planting no shit on Louie to get her swept up with Teddy McDonald. Not a problem in the world. Matter of fact, I got an idea.
Well,
Go ahead. No. Go ahead. Go through the rest of the synopsis. We'll do our when we give our season 6 predictions. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Franklin informs V that things are probably going to get dirty again, and she asks if he needs help. He declines, and she ends up making a call to someone she hasn't spoken to in a long time and asks for a favor. Her mom?
Somebody in her scamming ass family.
Some kind of connect from her scamming days.
Dude, they gonna come and run a con on Teddy?
Yeah, bro, why not?
They gonna come and run a con on Teddy? Like, what is this, man? Do you have some muscle that you didn't tell me about? That's another
thing. If she had muscle this entire time, she is fucking trash.
She fucking up.
Trash. This
I'm
entire
trying to
time
figure out, man. Has Saint moved so far out of the streets that he don't have no more hitters other than Diamond and Silk? Or sorry, not Diamond and Silk. Fucking
Black Diamond in Dallas.
Black Diamond in Dallas. He don't have no other hitters than them. I mean, they good enough. They getting the job.
I would say they are like, some good hitters.
But it's like, bro, if we go into war, I need a little bit more than that. You know, not that he would be able to pay any of them at the moment, but I just thought we'd maybe have a little bit more than that. Be a good time to have peace.
True. All his hitters are either dead or going to Africa. So, and Leon ain't been a hitter since season
way back.
You know what I mean? Franklin then calls up Black Diamond in Dallas, which is wild because he can't pay them, and they are known for getting their bread. So I'm shocked. I am shocked.
Well, he gonna make more money. He gonna find a way to make some more money.
Fair enough. And I guess they do
or
what they do.
So. I'm sure that they're involved in is this.
They get it cut from whatever business venture they're involved in. The Cuban Kid has more info, and Avi claims to have one bit of info, but he wants to get untied. I'm sorry, the Cuban Connect wants more info, and Avi claims to have one bit of info, but he wants to get untied. He explains that Teddy is essentially a contractor of the CIA. Homeboy then shoots Avi, which may seem wild as fuck, but it also kind of makes sense because he told him that he couldn't trust him. So Avi could have been basically sending him on a wild goose chase.
Okay.
I would think.
Push the gun for me. Ugh, shit. Excuse me. So you remember earlier when I said that Avi, if he had the lay of the land and all the players that quickly, based off of a fight that he had in the dark in a trunk ride home, if you knew, why would you tell Franklin that he's a fucking contractor so he can protect himself the way that you know he has to protect himself? If you're so fucking fond of Franklin, why didn't you tell him that? Why didn't you tell him?
Because he's got no loyalty to Franklin.
Come on, Javi. Y'all both still be alive.
No, that's a fact. Yep.
Come on. You knew this whole time and didn't tell nobody.
Nope.
Think about what they could have done with that information. Think about what his relationship was with everybody coming in to this season and what they could have done with that information.
Oh, they could have ended him pretty quickly.
I don't know if it'd be matter at the character or the writers for not including that, making that a bigger thing. The fact that he's not actually employed by the U.S. government anymore. That's huge. That means he's not bulletproof.
Right. You can end him pretty quickly with that.
Literally.
You can cut off, at the very least, you can cut off business with him immediately.
You want to know why Reed is being so paranoid now? Why he got so? It's not because he's never been shot before. He's been in a gunfight before, y'all. It's because now he can't call in fucking units to come air this shit out and save his life. He can't call a bus to get his ass to the emergency room when he gets shot up. He has to rely on coke and illegal Syrian doctors to perform surgery on him in their kitchens while he masturbate. So yeah, that's why he's so fucking scared, because he doesn't have the resources anymore, y'all. He doesn't have the protection, doesn't have the backing of Uncle Sam. Yeah. He just has the wink and the nod. And the wink and the nod turns into goddamn bracelets and door slamming shut real quickly when you're not careful. Or an early dirt snap. Either way you cut it, he's vulnerable. How crucial would that information have been to Franklin, to Louie, to anyone involved in this? How did that little piece of information sit around all season and never get revealed until Javi dies?
Franklin uses Black Diamond in Dallas to rob a bunch of Jerome and Louis spots, while Phil Collins in the Air Tonight plays, which is a cheat code, which is a fucking cheat code. Anytime that plays, it makes everything that much harder.
Oh Lord!
I'm gonna let you get your shit off.
Yeah, that's my shit.
It's everybody's shit. That's a fucking cheat code.
Shout out to the other Uncle Phil.
Facts.
That's Uncle Phil.
Jerome and Louie are getting pages like crazy on their last day of their honeymoon, which is wild. But hey, makes sense. Your shit is robbed everywhere.
Jerome's sick of this shit. He's sick of this shit. He's sick of it. He is sick and tired of this shit. So he wanted to come out by the beach and have a honeymoon. Yeah. Not deal with all this fuck shit, Louie. I don't, man. Y'all had the money. Y'all broke off. Y'all was doing your own thing in Little Rock. Look how all this shit played off, man.
Yeah.
Louie was bagging weed at the dining room table when Franklin started out in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome selling said weed. Then they all go into business together. Franklin makes them all insanely rich. Louie gets too big for britches and decides, I don't like the way you move. I want to work for myself. Cool. And then your ass end up right back in LA working for fucking Franklin. You had your shot to go do your own thing. And when that didn't work out, you came back and you snaked mine.
Yep.
When your shit didn't work out the way you wanted to in Little Rock, or it did. It did, because apparently Little Rock, St. Louis, Detroit, all of that shit was Franklin's idea.
Expansion.
So none of that shit that you even did was original. You just stole everything from your nephew. I was halfway giving you your props because I thought the Little Rock expansion shit was your idea. That was Franklin's idea. Everything that you claim you running now, you stole from your nephew. Thief, swiper.
And wouldn't even be in the business at all if it wasn't
for him. Yeah, I am really struggling to find a redeeming arc for Louie and all of this, boy. But
there's no way.
It's not there.
It's too deep.
Mm-mm.
Franklin pulls up on Kane's team in the hospital because obviously Franklin is going to need a new crew. He then tells Kane that it was Louie that did it, which a little bit of snitching, but
I don't think he wants his man. I think he wanted to put pressure on Louie while he figure out what he's gonna do about Reed.
You didn't think that scene was symbolic of them like all walking together in the hospital?
No, like they were walking to Kane's room, and plus they had to do something because Phil was still playing. But I think he wants Kane to put the pressure on Louie. Like, oh, your business now? Bet, take this heat. take a seat, because now he wins twice. He fucks up Louie's money and he fucks up Reed, because now all of his supply is going through one supplier or one distributor who can't move efficiently because she's at war. Just started the job and she already can't do it effectively because of her personal business.
I do think they'll obviously end up working together though, because there's no Leon, and if Louis the one that created the hit on me, I've got no reason to end the deal that we have here. So I mean, at the very least, they'll probably continue to work together. You don't think?
Okay, so I know where Franklin's end game is, and so that doesn't require him necessarily to get back.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did kind of quit the dope game.
Yeah, I'm about to say, especially since he just got at least a smooth M off of smooth M or two off of Louis. Maybe a little more, maybe 5. Let's say I got 5 M's off of Louis.
We'll call it 3 because he probably had to pay Black Diamond in Dallas.
Right, and so I don't think that he's necessarily going to work with Kane because he doesn't have anything to sell him.
Yeah.
He's got no product. He's got no connect. He's got to go fuck with them Colombians that Louis was talking about. But I don't see him. I think the whole to get back to work with him so I can draw him in shit was literally that, just to pull him back in. I don't think he was legitimately going to start selling again.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Even though Polo Boy,
after all of this, there's something wrong with you. You addicted.
Even though Polo Boy thinks that Kane and Franklin are the next Magic and Nixon in the streets.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, obviously, Kane has to be storming Norm Nixon, and Franklin is Magic. You know what I mean? So, Showtime Lakers. All right, Franklin. Oh, Oso's wife is going through it because Oso still ain't back, so she has to assume the worst. Either that nigga is dead or locked up, or Ted got to him.
Yeah, she'll be getting a phone call here in a little bit.
Oh yeah,
getting a phone call here in a little bit. She'll find out.
And finally, like my dad said, Mama coming to deal with Louie. Sissy pulls up on Franklin and explains that Jerome told her he got robbed. What? You good?
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. Sissy pulls up on Franklin and explains that Jerome told her he got robbed. She asks Franklin how he plans to fix it, but he's been trying to fix this whole shit for like a season and a half almost. Franklin knows.
Maybe no one heard me, but at the wedding, I was trying to give up and say, hey, I'm sorry. I'll give you everything you want everything you want. I pulled up to your club the next night and I tried to tell you, hey, again, everything's cool. Everything's copacetic. I understand why you killed a man that I just hired and told him that I had a truce with. We're all good. There's no beef. And then you told me that you took my plug.
Yeah.
This is no longer on Franklin. Franklin did everything he could to keep them together. This is straight up betrayal.
Oh, 1,000%.
Straight up betrayal. He did everything he could to make sure to give the deference to Louis. Hell, in the end, even after she betrayed him, he gave it up. He quit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He literally gave her an entire lane.
He handed it to you. And your loyalty, that was me. Because I very easily could have had you killed, took my plug back, all of this would have went away, and bada boom, bada bing, right? Very easily could have just told, when I found out that you shot Kane, could have told his crew that it was you. They could have pulled up to your club, shot both of your weak-ass doormen like I did to steal your money, stole all your shit, and then probably killed you. And then I would have nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back to selling to them because that's what it was in the first place.
Yeah.
It's what I could have done if I was a grimy motherfucker, right? That's what I could have done. But just because I can do it doesn't mean I should. Is a lesson that Louis still hasn't learned. She could do, but she didn't understand why she shouldn't. You can leave your nephew ass out, not help him get his money back, but it doesn't even dawn on you why you shouldn't. You're going to find out in season 6. As far as... yeah, sure, yeah. You're going to find out in season 6. The one thing, the wild card in all of this is Sissy. If for early season 6 prediction, Sissy uses the KGB / Sandinista group to not only take out Teddy, but take down Louie and Jerome in the process.
Yeah. Yep.
Basically, everything that they wanted to do using Franklin, same scenario, input Louie, since she wanted to be in that spot so fucking
I
much.
was gonna say she's literally the one supplying everybody now. How easy would it be to knock her out of the situation too?
Since you want to be Saint so bad, you can take on Kane and the KGB and Reed all at the same time.
Like literally, Franklin has no ties to it now, so you can literally get everybody hemmed up easily.
Do what you want, man. Do what you want.
Franklin also knows that he's becoming a monster, but he wants Sissy to know that she didn't raise the monster. This just had to happen because of the game that they're in. Essentially, it's not no fault to her. He had ambitions for something, and yeah, it's unfortunate. But I got a question for you. Now that we've seen the end of the season, obviously they've punted all of the action, because you were calling specifically for Teddy to die this season. So they punted all the action to next season. So what did you think about the finale?
I can't say that it was I feel like most of the reveals and things that were relevant came in episode 9.
Yeah.
Right? Buckley missing Kane and ending up fired and on Louis' payroll. Louis taking the plug from Franklin quitting. All of that shit happened in 9, and nothing other than Javi dying and him letting it out to someone other than him and Reed, that Reed is no longer an employee of the CIA. I mean, what, also getting arrested? Was that our grand finale?
The grand finale was Sissy and Franklin coming together to wage war, I guess. I mean, they punted.
I just don't. What was the coup d'etat? The coup d'etat, excuse me.
The coup d'etat was that you're going to get literally everything you won in season 6.
Yeah, no, that's not a season finale. That's
it's not. And I'm surprised. Now that we've seen it, I'm surprised they didn't say, all right, this is season 5, this is part 1, and then this is season 5, part 2, coming out whenever they drop it. I'm surprised they didn't do it that way. It's
like, usually I feel like the standard way to do a season finale is you tie up all the storylines that you spent all season, preparing, and then you drop cliffhangers leading into next season. This was nothing but cliffhangers. It was just all cliffhanger. That's how they sealed off the plot lines.
So we also released the Power season finale review earlier this week, where we discussed the fact that they tried to close everything almost too quickly and left nothing for the next season, essentially.
I don't think that was the case. Walter's still around.
Right, but okay. So we basically discussed that they didn't. They basically gave us action, kills Liliana, but then we're still kind of in the same predicament for the most part. Like they tried to do too much of everything in one season, but didn't really deliver either. So like,
I didn't see
how does it work for
these shows trying to answer questions that had been laid down by the entire season? So from that perspective, I think they're pretty much the same. I think what separated them was, you're right, there was a lot more to at least push the story forward with Power. They just didn't cap off any of the stories, and it's like, how good of a story are you actually telling if you're drawing out the same conflicts over multiple seasons? Like, there's one thing to have conflict in a season, have it come to a head at the end of the season, and then leave a hanger that sets up the next season's conflict. That seems like a coherent story to me. It's a whole nother thing to have the same conflict for 2.5 seasons and it not go anywhere until the show is ending. You know what I mean? Like, this whole thing between Reed and Franklin has kind of been building since before he moved out of Compton.
Yeah.
So like it's not a surprise that it ultimately ends in them going at each other. That's something we've been predicting pretty much
since like
since they
season
met.
4.
Yeah, since they met. So hey man, I don't know what to do with that because it just seems like we're very dependent on the Reed Franklin dynamic, and we haven't gotten a whole lot from it other than him stealing his money, which is it's not so much of a finale if you do it in the first 5 minutes of the show, you know.
So let's say, obviously they punted, and so now we gotta wait for season 6. Let's say they do end up killing Reed, probably Louie, maybe somebody else on the other side gets hit, maybe V, maybe Veronique gets capped.
Hey, the way you over here praying for my man Saint Unborn Child to be done away with is scandalous. It is
Hey, Teddy and Louie gotta get it back in blood somehow, man. It can't be Jerome. It literally can't be Lee
no,
because he on the plane to Africa.
It shouldn't be. You mean Leon?
That's what I said, Lee.
You said Jerome.
I said Lee.
You can't be Jerome. He's on the plane to
I said it can't be Jerome and it can't be Lee.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It probably should not be Jerome, but it probably will be Jerome. It's probably going to be.
Okay. So this is how I see Jerome dying in season 6, which is nuts that I'm already predicting the season 6 finale. Louis gets capped. Jerome gets in a huge rage and just goes out in a blaze of glory, effectively.
So Queen and Slim style.
Yeah, I feel like that's if Jerome's dying, I feel like that's the most rational way for him to die. Unfortunately,
Jerome need to go buy him a house and what's good for retirees? What's down there in Florida, in Key West or something, and say, "Hey, Louis, I'm on my way down. If you coming, come on. If you gonna stay up here with all this bullshit, you stay." But I'm out.
Jerome needs to open up Jammin' Jerome's 2.0.
You need to do something. You need to get out from underneath Louis. What you need to do.
Polo Boy thinks Jerome is going to live through it all.
I hope. Yeah. Hey, fingers crossed, bro. I hope so.
You know what they can do to kill somebody on Franklin's side, but not kill Jerome? Kill V.
His baby. She's pregnant. You give a damn. Oh,
I'm sorry to see the baby go.
All right. Okay.
I'm sorry to see the baby go.
Okay. Well, now.
I don't even know V. She just popped up this season.
Bro, it's been 10 episodes, bro. Get over that.
V is Mecca. I don't even know them. Who are they? Where'd you pop up from? Hey.
Ooh, what if V is the feds?
What if what?
What if she's the feds? What if she's a fucking informant for the DEA? What if she was part of the sting operation?
But how would she know about Oso's shit? Or I guess she doesn't have to know about Oso's shit.
She could just put him on his trail, and that could have been how they found him. Because Oso was like getting pretty close to family. He was there for the kickers.
Yeah. He was at the wedding. They obviously pulled up after the whole Tiger situation. It's possible. Then is she actually pregnant?
That would be scandalous. No, but you can't. She pregnant though. She pregnant because they had that ultrasound. How you gonna fake an ultrasound?
Because the doctor's in on it too.
What is the damn DEA out here faking ultrasound, son? That's
the doctor's in on it, bro. They just had some random ass screen, just
VCR. No, she's a scam artist though. She's a real life scammer though. The doctor was her mom.
That'd be crazy. She's getting capped in season 6.
And then the person that she called when she was in the apartment was her handler. She was trying to tell her handler, like, get me out because this shit's about to get hectic.
Ooh. She's getting capped in season 6.
Ooh, okay. Veronique is a DEA informant and she trying to get out because she know Franklin about to get into some bullshit, and then Sissy is going to be using the KGB to try to take down Louie and Reed.
There's too many governmental agencies all up wrapped in this.
You know what would make this simpler? If we'd have shot Reed's ass, right? And so now only thing we got to worry about is Louie in the KGB. That would have been a great way to send it out. Shoot his ass. Shoot him. Get Reed out the way.
Yep.
It's been a long time coming, man. It's been a very long coming.
Oh,
but now that I see that
I was trying to ask the question the whole time. If they do end up killing Louie, or if they just end up killing Teddy, and maybe Louie, does that solidify Snowfall? Like, are we putting that high up on the shelf? Has it already gotten to high on the shelf status? You know,
I
maybe
think Reed
not
is
better
destined
than.
to die. I think he's destined to die. But it's how that now it worries me. Louie may or may not get clapped. That's just the reality of it. Whoever is writing Louie is very fond of her as a character, so I think she's got about a 50% chance to survive all of this. Reed is not going to survive this.
Okay.
And so to me, it's more about how he goes as opposed to whether or not he survives. I don't think he survives.
So then there is a way that they can fuck up top shelf status. I hope you're reading that chat.
What are we talking about? Which one?
You know good and damn well.
No. Oh wait, no. I'm talking about which one is he telling me to chill out about? Hey man, I don't care. I don't care. I'll connect the dots, man. I'll be wrong. I'm not worried about it.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I don't care about being wrong. It ain't that big a deal to me, bro. I ain't getting no headlines off of this.
Right. Is there anything that can prevent Snowfall from top shelf, like with The Wire and Ozark and?
I mean, it's already a step below The Wire. I don't know where I would put it in terms of Ozark.
I was thinking of recent ones. I guess The Wire is a little older.
I mean, I'd say it's still a notch above Power. Anything in Power, right?
I love Power, but like
not quite the classic that The Wire was. But also the reason why The Wire is a classic is because it aged very well. So we'll have to look 5-10 years down the line and see who's still watching Snowfall.
Okay, I would say the only season that I can look back and be like, was probably this season.
Yeah.
And so if they come back with a fire season for season 6, I can't see them.
Think about well, you haven't watched Game of Thrones. Anyone in the chat currently has watched Game of Thrones, right?
I'm aware that the last season was not so good.
Well, but even before that, right? We're talking about season 6, the back half of season 6. I would say up to the point where we get to Battle of the Bastards. You probably start thinking as a Game of Thrones fan, like, this is getting a little wonky, but it's okay. We'll work it out. And then to suffer through the final 2 seasons of that show, let's just say that the turning point was a sign of worse things to come. So if this season is an indicator of how we're going to carry out the rest of the series,
And see, I want to say, all right, so John Singleton is passed, and so that should be where the show has gone off the hinges. But I mean, it's done well with his absence.
Yeah, it's clear that the creative direction took a sharp turn because, like, you can just tell in the differences of the episode. There was actual filler in the episodes this year, and that's the one thing that hasn't been a thing in this show since it started until this season. Was gap fill in the plot, or in the storyline. So clearly there was a change of direction from where, John Singleton's, rest in peace, his creative direction kind of ran out, or they went as far as they knew they were gonna get from John, and then whoever took over for him eventually starts going their own direction. I think it can still end up being a good series, man. I'm just it's
Too early to tell.
just got my antennas up a little bit, so we'll see where
For
it ends.
sure. All right. I think we got all the chats out of the way, even though I want to reiterate, Marcus, stop now while you're ahead. Remember Bel Air, bro. I just wanted to reiterate that.
Hey man, first of all, I haven't heard too many people saying that they were fond of the reveal in Bel Air. So even if I was wrong, my prediction was better. But no, in all seriousness, man, we have fun, man. I don't put too much stock into the predictions. So I take wild swings. Now, when I take a wild swing and I'm right, y'all make me go viral.
Facts. Facts. No, for sure.
Share
For
my
sure.
shit. Share my shit.
For sure.
Share my
All
shit.
right. You ready to talk about Moon Knight?
Can you give me just a second?
Absolutely not.
I'll be right back. Be back, chat. Entertain.
Who we still got in the chat though? Polo Boy. I'm sure Pops is still somewhere in here. Literally called himself Big Papa in the house. Ridiculous. Do we still got Precious in here? Maybe so, maybe not. Come on, man. Let us know where what y'all into right now. And y'all telling me I need to pay my bill, the internet bill. Everything looks good on this side. YouTube needs to pay their internet bill. I'm just saying. Getting ready to talk about Moon Knight. Let me know if y'all seen episode 4, the episodes of Moon Knight, and what y'all thinking about the show so far. We were told that Moon Knight was going to be fire, and it's okay. It's all right. Okay, so he just totally disconnected. So we will be back. All right. I think we are all ready to talk about Moon Knight. Episode 4, The Tomb. So now we are in Cairo and we are in the actual shit now.
Mm-hmm.
Layla is begging Steven to wake up, and that's when someone pulls up shooting at them. Since she's not getting any help from Steven/Marc, she handles the situation with the use of flares, which pop up quite a bit in this episode. And thoughts on her ingenuity?
She's maybe I just need to go back and watch and pay attention closer. Is she a mercenary as well? Because like I got the feeling that she just had like archaeological skills from her father, and then she went on adventures with Marc. Where is this fighting prowess coming from? All these combat skills. There's the part of the story I'm missing, or that's just a missed narrative.
I feel like
Because
she
I'm not.
did say she was a mercenary too. Obviously, we know Marc is a mercenary, but I feel like she might have said
She's
like
also a mercenary.
they both stole the scarab, did they not?
Well, they went there looking for the scarab, but she was only doing that because her father was looking for it.
I feel like when we first met her, she alluded to the fact that she was also.
She said that they went on adventures together. I never really heard her define her occupation, but I mean, in any case, her physical prowess is the most interesting thing to me. That she knows how to fight so well, and she's very combat trained.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that stuck out to me about that. I wonder. So we're picking up with this right after Khonshu is imprisoned, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So then, what the hell happened that made him go comatose like that, or like knocked out as well? That was another thing that I didn't feel like they told us. Maybe we'll figure out later why that happened like that. What makes them? Because like usually when one of them passed out, because somebody's taking over. Didn't nobody take over? He was just out.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. On the way to Amit's tomb, Steven explains to Layla that him and Marc have a deal that once everything is all finished, Marc will leave for good. I'm not sure that's how dissociative identity disorder works, but okay.
First of all, man, that's not for you to tell. She shouldn't have had to get salty at you at the fact that I hadn't discussed it with her yet, because you shouldn't be saying it. Because man, listen, I would take control of that hand and start smacking the hell out of Steven. Because he's talking too much. He's talking way too much.
Yeah. Yep. Marc is informing Steven that now that Khonshu is gone, there's no more suit powers, all that shit. He advises that he continue to be smart about the things that he does for Layla's sake. And then that's when Steven decides to play Mr. Steal Your Girl on Layla.
Hey, yo, listen. So, okay, good question, right? Is this cheating?
Yeah, that's that.
Not, she ain't kissing Marc. That's not Marc. That's Steven. She know damn well that's Steven.
Yep.
I feel like they're what they're trying to do is showing that, like, I guess Marc and Steven are one of the same. So her smelling Marc, seeing Marc's face, but hearing Steven, she still has the same love that she had for Marc for Steven. I feel like that's better. That's a better explanation than her actually falling in love with Steven as a separate person. Because if that's the case, what just happened is that you came halfway across the world to meet a man that you loved, right? Because we know she loves Marc. They were married, right? Only to go on and on this entire time about how much you missed him, how wrong it was for him to leave, and he can't do this to protect you, and he can't take this from you, and he has to be honest with you here, all this other stuff. To kiss Steven, to fall for Steven.
Yeah, bro, she's emotionally cheating with the second personality.
Yeah, with like the second person. That is weirder to me than, hey, her realizing that maybe the parts that she liked about Marc were Steven. Maybe the thing that she only saw rarely out of Marc that she came to love was actually Steven.
Could be.
You know, so I like that explanation better than oh my God, he's nice to me, and Mark's so mean. Because that seems nuts. That seems a little crazy.
The scene was kind of awkward because she's like strapping Steven into a harness, but they're like alluding to like they might have just had sex. Like it was just the weirdest scene.
Also, I just got done telling you that the only reason why I've been trying to keep you away is because Khonshu wants you as his avatar. I'm trying to keep you away from a psychotic, crazed deity who takes control of your body and makes you fight for him. And your response to that is to kiss my other personality?
Yeah, because you're so honest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right.
Even funnier, after the kiss, Mark, who is still in the body, punches Steven in the face, which is him punching himself. I thought that was hilarious.
Yes. No, that was needed.
No, for sure.
Getting a little bit excited. So.
After walking through the tomb, they discover the Eye of Horus and decide that the avatar of Amit is the voice, and that Amit's last avatar was a pharaoh, which, well, I won't get ahead of myself, but I thought that was kind of interesting how they looked at the Eye of Horus and like broke it down. I didn't know any of that shit was a thing at all. Like they had like the tongue, and then like they had all the shit broken down, and you can hear and all that shit. I thought that was interesting. I didn't think I would learn something from Marvel like that about Egyptian culture.
The only thing we were doing this episode was getting history lessons, but you know.
All right. So while walking through the tomb, Steven sees fresh blood and bones, and for good reason, freaks the fuck out. Later, we see someone get killed and then their organs ripped out, which is exactly what they did to mummify pharaohs. So now we have a mummy series on our hand.
Okay. All right. Quick question. Just for you, let's say that this is the first MCU. Well, no, not the first. Let's say that you haven't reviewed a bunch of MCU content, right? So you didn't review Falcon Winter Soldier or Loki or anything like that. Make sure you check those reviews in our playlist. So you're just a casual like film movie fan, and you watched Moon Knight. With that sequence, that action sequence where the guy gets brought in, he's getting cut open or whatever, would it have shocked you to know that came from Disney?
Somewhat, yeah. A little bit.
Would it have?
A tiny bit. I to the point where I wouldn't even call it shock. I would have just been like, huh, okay, all right. It's a little left.
Maybe that's the desired effect, man, because I just did not think that was any more gruesome than any of the stuff that I've seen on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., for example. It was like, I see what you're trying to do. There's a little bit of blood spilling off the table. We permanently show him jamming something sharp into the person's body, and he takes his last breath, but you never actually see him getting split open. You hear him rummaging around in the body, but you don't actually see him sticking his hand in there. You see him pull something that looks like a human organ out, but he just promptly throws it into a bucket. You don't even get it's like, stop half stepping. You want to make something gruesome, you want to make something gory, then do gruesome and gory. Just do it.
I see where you're going with it. Yeah, that wouldn't have shocked me. That would have just been like, okay. I don't think I've ever seen this.
Somebody was telling me that they were going to do a Disney horror movie. That's what I would imagine.
Yeah.
No direct violence or blood. No gruesome scenes. We're not going to show you.
Not scary.
Yeah, it's not scary. We're not going to show you any type of real carnage. It's going to be the most tamed bit of violence that we could possibly give you and still make it somewhat edgy or dark.
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy because Marvel, at least, has the blueprint already in Blade movies.
Different Marvel at that time, man. No MCU.
No, for sure.
Unfortunately.
Steven and Layla make a clean getaway after Steven pushes a shelf and squishes the mummy, or so we think. Layla almost falls down a pit, but then the mummy almost eventually yokes her the fuck up twice. She manages to get away with his hand, and that's when Ethan Hawke shows up. Which we don't see any of that part at all.
Now. Not only did we not see it, but now she's ripping off a supernatural creature that just killed a mercenary now. He just killed a hitman. And start taking out his guts right there on the table. 200-pound man, at least. But Layla is not only able to kick his ass indiscriminately in the dark, again, nothing that we should want to see, right? But then she tears his hand off.
And then doesn't have a scratch or a scar on her after the fight.
Now, either she real fisticuffed you, and that's the only reason why we here, or somebody's got to explain this to me. Someone's got to explain this to me, how she's so damn strong. At this point, she seems to be on the same level as Marc, if not better. Because I haven't seen Marc fight. Well,
smarter.
She's smarter and she has the physical prowess. So I don't really see a degree of separation between her and Marc right now at all.
Yeah, no, I think she's got the leg up because she's smarter.
I was gonna say, if anything, she's up.
Well, technically, Steven is Marc, so.
No. That we only get to use that excuse when she kisses one of them.
Right, for sure. As Marc is spilling his guts out about Steven's honesty, wow, I can't believe I I used that terminology. As Marc is spilling his guts about Steven's honesty, Steven stumbles upon the tomb of Alexander the Great, who is Greek, like the Greek pharaoh. So I thought that was interesting. Like the history we got, I think is pretty interesting in this. But
yeah, man, I guess I appreciate it from a historical standpoint. I just, little less history lesson, a little more bang bang shoot 'em maybe.
Like when did Marvel decide to start teaching history class out here?
No, it's fine. It's historically relevant and all that, but it's just like condense that.
Let's get to it.
And there are also a few long ass conversations that happen in the midst of this episode that made me feel like, because this was a longer episode, right? So I'm thinking, oh man, we're gonna get so much more, and they just waste so much time talking. Jesus Christ, I'm not stupid. Just give me context clues. It's good enough. I promise it is. You can show me something quietly off scene with a 3-minute zoom in or close up, and then cut and just go on to the next thing. I do not need a 50-minute episode with 35 minutes of exposition.
Yeah.
That's boring. It is. It is boring. No matter what the action points were, no matter what the reveals are, that much exhibition in a exposition, excuse me, not exposition, exposition, in a show that is supposed to be about a superhero, it's too much. Had the same criticism with Loki. I get what you're trying to do, because it seems like all of the TV show artists are trying to have their breakout artsy, cultural smash like WandaVision started out being. And so now that's the model that everybody's consistently trying to recreate. It doesn't always have to be that. Sometimes you become that in spite of not wanting to be that. It just happens naturally.
Yeah.
But trying to force the next social conversation down somebody's throat for 40 minutes in a 6-part miniseries. Come on. Like, let's move past that eventually.
Agreed.
Oh, God.
Will T says this episode, besides the last 10, I think it was honestly about 15 minutes, did not deliver despite the hype.
Man, let me tell you, Wednesday morning, I woke up, started scrolling Twitter. This episode of Moon Knight, whoo! Man, I'm going to have to watch again. Man, Moon Knight this, Moon Knight. I'm like, all right, let me hop on this damn app before I catch a spoiler. And then I watched it, And I'm like, all right, long episode. Okay, oh, that happened. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Oh man, shoot. Well, what they about to do now? That happened. And you probably about to get to it next. And they ruined it. And then they absolutely ruined it. See, I feel what you're saying, Will T, but I feel the exact opposite. I felt like it was heading towards something really good through most of the episode, even though it was very devoid of anything pushing the story forward. I felt like we were heading somewhere. And then the last 10 minutes, just I was like, okay. Marvel Fight Club?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I felt like me and you were told that something was supposed to happen in this episode that never happened too.
Yeah. We were. But hey,
yeah,
sometimes.
And I was sitting there expecting said thing to happen, and there were multiple parts where it could have happened, and then it just didn't.
And it didn't. So I mean, maybe the last 2 episodes are enough to explain what we thought were going to happen in this episode that didn't end up happening. Maybe let's hope.
I guess. Do you want to say what it was, or do we want to explain?
No.
When it happens, we'll just tell them.
Right, for sure.
All right, cool. Ethan, oh shit, camera good. All right, cool. Ethan Hawke liked the way that Layla handles herself with that mummy. He mentions that he knows all about her and her pops. Then he mentions that he read Steven Marc's like scales, the tattoo and shit. And he's just basically hinting at the fact that he knows some shit about Steven Marc that she just doesn't know.
Relating to her father's death. That's the key.
Correct. But before we get that information, Steven opens the tomb of Alexander the Great and can't find the Ushabti. I think I said that right. Because Alexander was the voice, the Ushabti is in his mouth. So now Steven is playing crocodile hunter with the pharaoh. Definitely thought his arm was about to get snapped off.
Something like that. It was gonna get stuck or some dumb shit. Something like that. Definitely thought that.
So what Ethan Hawke tells Layla is that Marc killed her dad. Straight up. Any thoughts on that? How's that spun out?
What he said is that he's the only one that has the memory of his dad's death. So if anybody knew what happened to her dad, it was Marc, which is not. It's not per se. Oh well, Marc definitely killed her, but it's killed him. But it's definitely bad enough from Layla's perspective because you've known what happened to my father this entire time and never told me.
Could have provided closure a lot earlier.
It was probably the impetus of us meeting as well. So like that's kind of kind of fucked up. It's weird that we can understand that that's messed up here in Moon Knight, but when it happened in Winter Soldier and Bucky over here having dinner with the dude's father, whose son he murdered violently, it was Bucky's so sad. How is he gonna tell him? So sad.
That's a fact.
Poor Bucky. Poor Buck.
Yikes. After finding the Ushabti, Layla lets Steven Marc know that she has no clue how dissociative identity disorder works by calling out Marc when Steven's active. I don't think yelling his name just causes him to come out, but it does.
But it works. But it literally works. It's the only time that it works that they can just snap into it.
After like a brief loading screen, like he just stood there for a second, and all of a sudden, Marc comes out. Marc pulls up and tries to get her to leave with him instead of discussing potentially killing his father or killing her father, or at least knowing what the fuck happened. He just tried to dip instead of just talking about it.
Should he not be dipping? They know the homeboy's in the tomb. It's not like we have time to talk. They very clearly did not have time to talk this shit out. The fact that they're sitting there even trying to have this conversation right now, in this moment, is insane. It's crazy. You know you're being followed. You don't have time. You need to get the fuck out. Why are we having this conversation right now?
But this isn't the first time that Layla has chosen the wrong time to discuss some problems that they have.
No, we're not gonna start in on Layla or how much it makes sense for her to be that driven by her emotions that she would stop while her life is in danger to have this talk right now, but still have the skills and the training to dismember a supernatural creature in the dark with her bare hands. Those are the same person. That's the same warrior.
Yeah.
Same individual. Let's keep
fact.
keep that in mind for a second.
That's a fact.
So yeah, very, very clearly they weren't supposed to be having this conversation no more. Steven's supposed to be the smart one. Steven, why you ain't turn your ass around and just start running? We'll talk about this later.
That is a wild accent.
Jesus.
Marc eventually ends up confessing that a partner killed her father. Is he talking about Jake?
Who?
Is he talking about a potential third personality? A partner? Who's the partner?
I think it was his boss. I think he said, right?
Did he?
That he ended up killing him.
I heard the partner part and just immediately antennas went up like, oh.
Either way, so I guess I'm trying to find Egyptian. Well, but see, I can't put too much on it because Marvel has been very dead set on keeping these series very isolated, very grounded. Like the biggest reveal cameo wise we've gotten so far will be Kingpin and Hawkeye, I would say. So I want to say, oh well, are they going to retcon Amal Farouk and make the Shadow King be Mark Spector's partner who tried to kill him and then eventually ends up being the Shadow King? Maybe he finds another, ancient relic while he's out there messing around. That's what activates his mutant powers, and we're off from there with mutants. But then again, the only mutant that we have at least halfway confirmed in the MCU so far is Patrick Stewart, and that puts us. Well, I mean, I guess timeline wise, that would kind of matter.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, I don't think that's him. I think that person will remain unknown until they decide, or if they decide that a character like that is needed, then they'll bring it back up. But I think right now it's just going to be an indiscriminate character. It's going to be like the same thing like Monica Rambeau's friend that she had that was an engineer that can help her get through the hex.
Fair enough.
I got a friend that can help me with that. The random general that I never mention again.
Yeah. Ethan Hawke pulls up with the shooters. Marc gets a chance to fight a couple of them off, but Ethan Hawke pulls out the blicky and shoots my boy twice in the chest.
Two of the smallest, unbloodiest bullet holes I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, man, he hit him dead center mass. Like, fam, he's going to be leaking. Like, leaking. Like, it probably would have splattered on impact. Now we've changed the effects of guns in the MCU.
Yeah, we nerfed guns completely.
Not to mention that none of these people can shoot. None of these people can shoot. Every time they're shooting at them, the bullets get nowhere near anyone. But this one, he gets shot dead center mass, and you get two little round cherries. That's all you get. Two little dark round cherries. It's not even spreading. There's not even blood spreading in the water.
No. After being shot, we see Steven and Marc in a white room that I initially thought was purgatory. I thought he was like on his way to the upper room. But we see Layla as a caretaker and Ethan Hawke as a counselor in what seems to be a psych ward. Ethan Hawke is explaining that he suffers from similar afflictions.
Layla is definitely a patient.
Was she a patient?
She stole my boy's bingo card so that she could win. She is definitely a patient.
I thought she was taking up there to like be like, oh yeah, we won.
Yeah, no, she was saying we won, and you got the winning card, but you can't talk, so we won. Oh, that's why she promised him to give him some of the winnings this time. Because she probably been stealing my boy bingo card since the 80s.
I thought as a counselor, she was just engaging in playful banter.
Fuck no. First of all, they were dressed alike. Did she have on the doctor's coat? Did she have on the uniform?
I guess I wasn't thinking coat.
Bruh,
I think
she
I was
had
just
on the
thinking like
same outfit he had
scrubs
on.
and a little name tag. I didn't see a name tag, but I'm
Same
just
shit
assuming.
everybody else in there had on.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. She was a patient. All right, shit.
I did think it was funny though that like everybody was in there. You seen his boss, you seen the dude that got killed earlier in the dark room,
Mm-hmm.
which made it a little bit harder for me to decipher what we were looking at first. I'll let you finish before I give my take on it.
Okay, so he's in the room with Ethan Hawke, and he's looking around the room, and he starts to notice things that play. Aside from the people that he saw earlier, he starts to notice things in the room itself that play a part in what happened in the story up to this point, like a picture of the city that they were in, Homeboy's shoes, which
Bro, sandals,
obviously,
yeah, Jesus
yeah,
sandals.
obviously he wouldn't be wearing those kind of sandals in a hospital, and his cane. So he just starts to like notice things that are that played a part. That's when he remembers what happened, and the detectives from episodes 1 and 2 come into the room and try to take him down to no avail.
Yeah, so I am not a fan of the dream sequence kind of play. There's another, I guess, possibility to what's going on. Like maybe this is just the inside of Mark's mind in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we were gonna do that, a better spot would have been any place other than the end of episode 4. Because now it's such a concept that needs exploring, right? And so doing that earlier on gives you an opportunity to move on from it and build upon it in the later episodes. Well, we only got 5 or 6. So if you're going to spend the next 20 minutes explaining what the hell I'm looking at, if you're going to spend 20 minutes doing that in the next episode, that means that we're going to get even less forward plot movement. We're going to be
Yeah.
stuck in whatever the hell this fucking. I'm sorry, I cuss so much, y'all. This MCU Fight Club series or sequence. If we hang there too long, we're just we're missing out on even more plot that I feel like we should have already gotten by now.
It seems like even them getting to Amit's tomb just was way too quick.
All of this is happening within a matter of days. Well, no, I guess he lost 4 or 5 days in the beginning when he first changed. So let's say it's happening over the course of 2 weeks. I think we could have gotten a lot further in 2 weeks.
For sure. Eventually, Mark finds Steven trapped in a tomb within the psych ward, and now the two of them are walking through the hall together, only to come across a hippo dressed in Egyptian garb with a high-pitched voice.
Before we get to that bullshit, take it back a little bit. The red tomb.
The third tomb.
First of all, why y'all ain't go check that one?
You know?
Why you ain't go check that one? Clearly, it's something going on, fam. Okay, so you opened up one tomb and found Steven. You didn't think open up no more?
The one that's shaking much more violently?
Yeah. I think that's our missing personality from a couple episodes earlier, and I think the happy-go-lucky hippo is Amos, the big bad that we've been worrying about the entire series, that's being forbidden from being released. It's the laughing hippo.
The Hippo God. The Hippo God.
But
I'm
why?
trying to remember what cartoon there's a hippo that has a high pitched voice like that. The ending of it was very cartoonish, was it not?
So I'm supposed to take your bullet wound seriously, even though they're the least bloody bullet shots in the history of all gunshots in the history of all gunshot wounds. Like the least lethal shot to the chest you could ever take.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm supposed to stay in the moment of that drama only to see a talking hippo minutes later.
Yep. Yep.
It's not doing it for me, dog. It's really not. It's not doing it for me. And I just feel like it comes with the concerted effort to keep it family friendly. Oh, we just saw somebody getting shot, and we kind of saw it. So let's cut that with some more humor.
No.
I know, talking hippos, because that's funny as shit, right?
No.
That makes people happy.
No. The drastic tone change just took it left.
It's killing me, man. It's killing me. And it wouldn't be so bad because I've seen sharp changes in tone like that, but it's a sharp change. It's an actual change. It looks like you're trying to make a sharp change without actually doing the work. And that's the problem. It's like you're only shifting a little bit here, but then you're taking me back to the bubblegum extreme of happy and corny and very exposaic and just like very wordy. But then when we swing the pendulum back over towards the darkness and the violence, you handhold. I feel
Yep.
like it should be the reverse. Let the violence go. Handhold on all of the talky stuff, all the talky feely stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We don't switch that.
Yeah, I know you've heard a lot of good reviews for Moon Knight, and because I heard them too, and I'm just it's decent, but I was hearing that it was like one of the best shows. I don't know if I'm seeing that.
I think a lot of that was hype. I will say it's still better than Hawkeye to me, even though Hawkeye had a better reveal. It had the better reveals with Yelena coming back and Echo and Kingpin. Damn. Was Hawkeye better than this?
Could be.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I heard a lot of hype coming from Hawkeye too.
I guess I'll answer that after the series is over.
Yeah.
I think it's already better than. No, I like the action better in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. I know
Yeah,
you don't think. I know you don't think it's better than WandaVision.
I don't.
Do you think it's better than Loki? It's about on the same page as Loki.
Right now, I'll say it's even with Loki. Let me judge it for sure after the fact. Right now, it's about even.
Okay.
I think it'll end up being better than Kamala Khan just because that the age demographic of that show doesn't really suit me all like that. So I think I would end up choosing Moon Knight. But then again, Moon Knight has not given me a very strong performance. It's been satisfactory. That's what it's been. It's been satisfactory. They have not given me, damn, this is head and shoulders above any other MCU content. Well,
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think I would much rather have seen a Moon Knight movie. I know he's not a developed character all like that, so that's probably why the series. But a Marvel Mummy movie, and if they would have been willing to go there, I think that would have been a much better rollout for Moon Knight than what we've seen so far.
It really scares me with Blade, man. It scares me because if this is what you're doing with, if this is what you're doing with gods, let's talk about that for a second because I've been trying to let this kind of sit by the wayside a little bit because they haven't really shown back up all that much. But does anybody else have a problem with the fact that we're using white people for avatars as Egyptian gods? Like, whole country full of brown people, and you have Western descendants as the avatars for Egyptian deities. Now, they're not real Egyptian deities, so I have to keep my level of outrage kind of tempered in that respect because it's not real, right? Like, these are not real gods that we're speaking about. But just the sight of seeing white avatars portraying or being the vessels of Egyptian gods.
Nasty work.
Except for the sister, whoever she's the avatar for. But But yeah. Just the overall how they've been treating the supernatural so far does not bode well for what I believe Blade to be. Based on the 3 films that I've seen and every appearance in the comics, what I've seen out of WandaVision or Agatha Harkness or Doctor Strange or now with Moon Knight, supernaturally, we want to kick that up. We got to kick that up. We got to stop being so scared of offending people or bringing down the family brand. Don't fuck around and let Discovery catch up because you're too afraid. Because they're not. They're not. They're absolutely not. Don't know if you've watched the episode of Titans lately or Doom Patrol or any of the shit that they got going on. But the last thing they are afraid to do is give you blood in lieu of family friendliness.
Yeah.
I don't think it necessarily hurts you to have a show or 2 like that.
I would agree. Give the people what they want.
Got to give the people, give the people what they want. Don't.
Is that how we're ending the stream? Is that what we're doing?
Got to give the people, give the people what they want.
Well, I don't see anything else from the chat.
Shout out to Jalen and Jacoby.
They're obviously booing you, but they're not typing it, so you know.
Hey, if boos are loud, we'd be able to hear them if they were happening.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, any other thought on Snowfall season finale or Moon Knight?
Snowfall, Louie got to get snuffed. Got to get snuffed out. I'm sticking with my 2 early predicts. Not on the Veronica Fair one. I'll let that one go because she is pregnant by him. It doesn't behoove her to have her baby spot.
She got to get capped too.
But Creed is going down, and they're probably going to use the Contras to take down not only Reed or the KGB to not only take down Reed but Louie in the process. That's
that man's name. That man's name is Teddy, not Reed anymore.
And Jerome's getting one. Even though I don't want to see it happen, he gonna catch one.
In a blaze of glory.
I think
he better not go out like no punk.
We ain't gonna go out like no punk, but I just
send my guy off right, especially after he ran Franklin's fade in season 5 or season 4.
Franklin kind of let him beat him up, but even if he wasn't gonna listen, I don't know.
And he ran Homeboy's fade this season. Yeah, no, give him the proper send off.
Yeah, but that's exactly why though. I feel like we already know Jerome is tough, so I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like they setting Jerome up to die instead of Louie.
We'll see.
Because Jerome is supporting her and all of her craziness. And so the only thing that's going to snap Louie back into reality is like, oh, shit, I lost Jerome. Because I guess, oh, shit, my plug's going to kill my nephew is not enough.
Yeah, no. It's not.
When, hey, he's going to kill my nephew is not enough. Hey, he's going to kill my husband. Has to do it, right?
Yeah, it does. Something.
And then for Moon Knight, we're going to snap out of Fight Night MCU quickly, I hope. Get to the 3rd personality that's locked up in that red sarcophagus and show someone bleeding, like in real life, like actual blood, like real blood pouring out of a body the way it would if you were ever shot in the chest.
No, they are going to patch that man up, give him a little Band-Aid and a lollipop, and move on.
That's I guess that's going to be my thing. If Khonshu isn't free and he dead, is he's locked up in his mind forever?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, not forever, but until them sensors, them synapses stop firing off.
Something. We'll figure it out in episode 5.
Like his brain literally shouldn't be working by now, right? Not only did he get shot, he fell backwards into a pool of water. He should be drowning. But hey, Marvel MCU, man, everything is possible except for recasting T'Challa. You guys have a good night. Like, share, subscribe.
On that note,
let us know what you got. Make sure you come back next week We will be on time. No technical difficulties. I'm
YouTube will
solo
not
dolo
fuck up.
parenting this week, so bear with me. I appreciate everybody that showed up in spite of our tardiness. But yeah, kick it with us every week. We'll be back here next week doing Moon Knight.
And if you're not already, subscribe.